Hello, hola, Marco. So, after I got the gastric sleeve surgery and lost about 60, 70 pounds just from the surgery, I went and found a training place, a training center called the Perfect Workout. Uh, there, I was able to lose more weight. At a certain point, I decided, okay, I should get myself a personal trainer to get myself a more intense workout. I found Reggie, and I got down to about 430, 420 pounds. And around that time, I thought, okay, let's see if I can go for a 1 mile walk. I mapped out a route around my neighborhood. Now, there are two ways I can go. One way has a steep hill, short, relatively speaking, but a steep hill. Go up, go down, go around, get back to my house. Another way has a much more gentler slope route. Still a hill, but a gentler slope. Longer though. I can go that way, go around a corner, come around, come back to the house. I decided to go for the lower slope, longer length of the hill. Now, I went on a nice day, sunny out, about 3:30 in the afternoon. I begin my walk. I trudge up the hill, just a slight angle, go around another neighborhood, come around, come back down, and about halfway down the hill, I realized I'm not gonna make it. I'm not gonna make it home. My hips hurt, my knees hurt, my ankles hurt. I was exhausted. I'm not gonna make it home. I'm about 10 houses away from my home. I can almost kind of see my house, but I couldn't go too much further. Fortunately for me, there was a park right there. I make it to a bench. I sit down, and I'm like, relaxing. I'm trying to relax. And my head does this. I go, and I think that's how long it took. But, my head goes down, it comes back up, the sun was here, and now the sun's here. I felt unconscious for, I don't know, half an hour, I think, or something like that. But that did give me enough time to recover, and I was able to get up and finally make my way to my house. That was an ordeal. Nowadays, I can do 2 miles in about an hour. And that brings me to week 3 nutrition challenge, which is 8,000 to 10,000 steps a day. Now, I know it's a nutrition challenge, but the challenge isn't just about nutrition. It's really about developing healthy lifestyle habits. And week three's habit, steps, 8,000 to 10,000 steps a day. Now, again, the nutrition coaches gave everybody who's doing this challenge an ebook. And in this part of the challenge, the ebook has this concept that they refer to as NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Basically, it's what you burn that does not include sleeping, eating, and any structured exercise. The ebook notes that if you work out for 1 hour a day, that's about 4% of your day. Well, what about the rest of the day, the 96% left over? The ebook notes that you could work out more. You could work out 2 hours, 3 hours a day. But is that good for you? Is that really the way to go? The ebook notes that if you do that, you might be overtraining. And overtraining prevents muscle growth, or at least hinders it. Hinders, strength gains, hinders recovery, and generally it just makes you feel depleted all the time. And I know this, I felt this, because years back, 10, 15 years ago, when I was a young man or younger, I did CrossFit. I tried CrossFit. And at the time, my mindset was, okay, I need to exercise. I wasn't thinking about nutrition as much. I was thinking about it, but not as much. I was focused on exercise. And CrossFit is exercise. CrossFit, very strong exercise. I go to various classes, go to various sessions, and after every class, we're done. I get to the door of the gym and I see my car. I park sometimes 20 feet away, sometimes 40 feet away, depending on where I can find a parking space. I see my car and I'm thinking, okay, just make it to the car. Just make it to the car. CrossFit, it's no joke. It destroys me. It destroyed me back then. It's not fun nowadays, though I can do it better nowadays. Can I make it to the car? Can I make it to the car? Okay, so I walk, make it to the car. Great, awesome, yay! Okay, then I get into the car and I sit for about 5 minutes, sometimes 10, just recovering from that workout session. And again, I was focused on the working out part and not so much on the nutrition. I really want to, I was really gung-ho about the working out part. And I went 2 or 3 times a week. I was always tired. I was always sore. I was always in the recovery phase. And I couldn't maintain that. I got burnt out. And as a result, I stopped. I stopped going because I just couldn't do it. It was too much. Which, in effect, I was overtraining. So the neat solution notes, the ebook notes that humans are evolutionarily designed for walking. We're very good at walking long distances. We have good stamina. That's what I believe persistent hunting is about. Actually, on Wikipedia, there is mention that there's a Welsh town someplace that has a man versus horse race. It's a 22-mile race over roads, trails, some mountainous terrain, and usually the horse wins. However, sometimes the human wins, which shows that humans can compete with a horse when it comes to long distance trekking, running, walking, that kind of thing. So 8,000 to 10,000 steps should be doable for the average, generally fit individual. And because we're built for walking long distances, it isn't a kind of exercise that should be particularly taxing for the, again, average, generally fit individual. So you should be able to recover rather quickly from it, as opposed to, the intensity of a CrossFit workout. Now, for me, for someone who's obese, I do a 2-mile walk in 1 hour, and I'm tired afterwards. I'm tired. Doing 8,000 to 10,000 steps. So according to various websites, 2,000 steps is 1 mile. I can do a 2-mile walk in 1 hour, 4,000 steps. And so doing 8,000 and 10,000 steps will be 2.5 hours, 2 hours to 2.5 hours of walking. I would be very tired afterwards. So for me, it would still be something I could recover from relatively quickly, but it would still be a challenge. But also, I don't have a time to do 2.5 hours every day. Here's why. Okay, so I work 12-hour shifts from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Friday through Monday, Tuesday. If I want to get sleep, 8 hours of sleep, so a 12-hour shift, 8 hours of sleep, 20 hours of my day gone. Include some commute time and feeding the cats. And when I get home, I just want to relax for a bit. I'm not walking 2.5 hours on the days I go to work. I can do 1 hour, okay? But I'm not doing 2.5 hours worth of walking. On the days I don't go to work, I go to CrossFit or I go to my personal trainer. And on those days, I could possibly, add a 1 hour walk. I'm already tired from CrossFit or from the personal trainer, and I would be even more tired if I did a 2.5 hour walk. But I can do a 1 hour walk. I don't want to, again, overwork out because, again, there are just detrimental effects to doing that. Now, my personal trainer had a similar idea, and a while back, he wanted me to begin writing down how many steps I take, and he gave me a pedometer to use. And I use an Excel spreadsheet. I should probably use an app because, I don't always remember to bring my pedometer, or I don't always remember to write down how many steps I actually took that day. But I use an Excel spreadsheet here, as you can see. And as you can see, I skip a few days every so often. But on the days I go to CrossFit or I go to my personal trainer, I get about 4,000 to 5,000 steps. I could possibly add another 2,000 steps, or actually 4,000 steps, and get me to about 6,000 to 7,000 steps. That's doable for me. 8,000 and 10,000 steps is just a bit too much for me regularly. I could probably do it like one day a week. I could, like the day before workday, before Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, I could probably take one of those days and take 2.5 hours to walk and get those. Or actually, I wouldn't actually need 2.5 hours, because normally if I go to CrossFit on that day or go to a personal trainer on that day, I'll get about 4,000 to 5,000 steps. So really, I only really need another hour, an hour and a half of walking. And I could do that. What I have been doing though is on Saturday morning, when I get off work, I go for that walk. And since on Friday, I wake up at 11 a.m., go to CrossFit at noon, go to work at 6, get off work at 6, I'm up for a very long time. And on those days, my steps are just naturally longer. And so I don't need to walk 2.5 hours, because I've already had like 6,000 steps for that day. And really just need a couple more thousand to get to that 8,000 to 10,000 range. So on Saturday mornings, when I go home, I feed the cats and I go for a walk, and that usually hits me around 8,000 steps a day, or 8,000 steps for that day. And that's been working out for me pretty well so far, I think. And that's kind of the point, to begin making healthy habit lifestyle choices. I'm not doing 8,000, 10,000 steps a day, but I find one day a week that I can do 8,000 to 10,000 steps. Now, that's very thirsty work. And thirst and water consumption is apparently what's in week 4. And I go over that week in another video. In the meantime, if you have any comments, questions, suggestions, consejos, please let me know in the comments below. Until later, ciao.